Hi there guys, so following the fight between Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko, Vitali Klitschko, Wladimir Klitschko's brother, was quickly into the ring, obviously because his brother had just been stopped in the 11th round in the epic fight between Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko. Now, Vitali Klitschko has been someone who has always been protective over his brother. After Vitali Klitschko saw Wladimir Klitschko get stopped 3 times early on in his career, he advised his younger brother, Wladimir Klitschko, to consider retiring because he believed that Wladimir Klitschko was eventually going to get hurt if he continued trying to fight, and maybe this was just something that wasn't meant to be. But Wladimir Klitschko came back, reigned as champion for 9 years under Manny Stewart and Jonathan Banks. And it was the training that changed everything for Wladimir Klitschko. Vitali Klitschko took it upon himself to avenge defeats of Wladimir Klitschko, defeating Ross Purity in the 11th round. Interestingly, that was the same round that Ross Purity defeated his younger brother, Wladimir Klitschko. Also, he avenged the defeat of Corey Sanders. Corey Sanders defeated Wladimir Klitschko in 2 rounds. So Vitali Klitschko took it personally when someone beat his younger brother and tried to get them in the ring straight away to avenge his brother's defeat. And that's what he done against Ross Purity. That is what he done against Corey Sanders. Now, obviously, watching his brother be defeated by Anthony Joshua in 11 rounds in a fight that could have gone either way. I mean, it was dubbed too soon for Joshua or too late for Wladimir Klitschko. And I believe it was right in the middle. Maybe it was a little bit too soon for Anthony Joshua. It wasn't too late for Wladimir Klitschko. It was the last fight that he had. He had probably 12 rounds left in the tank. So there was just enough there left of Wladimir Klitschko to get him through that fight or get him to the 11th round, taking Anthony Joshua to war and taking him through the trenches. Vitali Klitschko was watching the action from outside of the ring because obviously he is retired now and he is supporting his brother. He was also shouting advice to his brother. When he knocked Anthony Joshua down, Vitali Klitschko explained he told Wladimir Klitschko not to knock him out, not to go for the finish because Joshua still has enough there and it's not worth getting countered. Wait for him to tire out because he believed that the lactic acid would set in on Anthony Joshua later on in the fight and he would slow down, and that was when Wladimir Klitschko could go for the finish, but it was too soon right now. So he told Wladimir Klitschko to not step on him. Although Jonathan Banks, Wladimir Klitschko's trainer, was yelling at him to go for the finish. So which voice was he listening to? Maybe he was listening to a bit of both. Maybe he got caught within 2 minds because Joshua still had enough there to counter, but he was on unsteady legs, and you could see that Wladimir Klitschko was maybe caught within 2 minds because he knew that Joshua had the power to stop the fight at any point. So ultimately, Wladimir Klitschko did not step on him. He applied educated pressure and tried to take Anthony Joshua out later on in the fight and take him deep. But Joshua found one big punch that changed everything. Heavyweight boxing, that's what we get. Now, after the fight though, Vitali Klitschko, as I said, was quick to jump in the ring and go to his younger brother, and he looked at Anthony Joshua. Apparently there was some bravado going on between the two of them before the fight started. Apparently when the anthems were playing, Eddie Hearn explained that Anthony Joshua and Vitali Klitschko locked eyes and they did not take their eyes off of each other until the anthems finished. There was some mental bravado going on between them two. Was it them that were fighting, or Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko? Because Eddie Hearn said that was intense. They literally stared each other out for like 2 minutes straight. And after the fight, Vitali Klitschko explained that he wanted to rip Anthony Joshua's head off for defeating his younger brother. He explained that every time that Wladimir Klitschko had lost, he had attempted to avenge his losses. He didn't want to see his brother get defeated in that manner in the ring without doing something about it. The only thing he could do about it was get that fighter in the ring. But he was retired after Wladimir Klitschko's loss to Anthony Joshua. He could not get Joshua in the ring because he was retired. Did he want to come back against Anthony Joshua, a young, hungry lion who had just learnt so much over 11 rounds with Wladimir Klitschko? So he wasn't going to be able to avenge his brother's defeat to Anthony Joshua, but he wanted to do something about it. And that is why he explained he wanted to rip Anthony Joshua's head off after watching him knock out his younger brother, because he has always done that. He has always got the opponents that have beaten his brother into the ring and stopped them, aside from Lamont Brewster and aside from Tyson Fury. Because when Tyson Fury beat Wladimir Klitschko, Vitali Klitschko was at the end of his career then as well. And Lamont Brewster, Wladimir Klitschko took care of him himself. Vitali Klitschko did not have to avenge that defeat for his younger brother. Wladimir done that himself. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Vitali Klitschko explained that after the fight where he saw his younger brother get knocked out by Anthony Joshua, he said he wanted to get in the ring and rip Anthony Joshua's head off, and he wanted to avenge his brother's defeat in the ring, but he couldn't do that with Anthony Joshua because he was no longer an active fighter. But there was some mental bravado between Vitali and Anthony Joshua before the fight begun, but ultimately there was respect after, when Vitali Klitschko and Anthony Joshua embraced and shown respect for one another. And that's boxing, guys. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.